444. In Japan, this number 090-444-444 is known as Sudoku's number. If you call this number, you are supposedly to be able to hear some strange, creepy noise. They say anyone who calls this number will die within a week in some types of accident in Japan. The number 4 Tihi sound like the word for dead. Sudoku was the ghost from the Ring movie, so it's possible this number was set up to promote the movie. Now, how many of you think this is nonsense or has tried calling this number and got anywhere? If you did, feel free to call it, but there is an urban legend attached to all these numbers. Now, apparently all these numbers have an urban legend attached to them. Now, I don't want to scare you viewers, but I have to read this urban legend because they all have urban legends. Now, there's another number called 0888. In Bulgaria, here. In Bulgaria, the phone number 0888 is believed to be cursed. They say that anyone who has a mobile phone with this number will die in a horrific death. The first man who owned the number, died of aggressive form of cancer. I don't know if this is true, but the first man who owned this number died of an aggressive cancer. The second man who was shot to death in the streets was the third owner of the number, who also was shot to death in the street. Nobody else wanted anything to do with this number. And the mobile phone company, Mobile, has to suspend it from points of any attempt to call this number results in pre-recorded messages was simply stated outside network coverage. This number is associated with 3 people's death. Now, if that is true, why would anyone have a number listed for anyone to call? And if it's true, let me know. It could be the first owner who owned it died, and then the second and the third, who knows? I just don't want to call it. I don't want to take the risk because they can trace your number back if you call these numbers. Now, I heard these numbers won't show up on your phone bill. But what's the point? Okay, 1000000000. Let's talk about this number. In some Asian countries, people claim that the phone number 1000000000 was cursed. If you called it, you would hear a voice telling you that if you did not call 15 or more people and tell them about the cursed number, you would die. But this is not probably true. So don't go thinking you'll die because you called this number. It may trace you back to your phone number. A, your parents may be worried about you if you call this number, and B, you may get nightmares and you may panic. So those who are prone to panic attacks and nightmares, don't call this number. I'm not even calling it. I don't know what is going to happen. But apparently 666 is another number people have been talking about. Well, in the USA, there is an urban legend about a phone number 666. They say if you call it, you will contact the devil. All of people claim to have tried it with varying results. Some say nothing happened. Some say they heard eerie music. Others say they heard satanic noises. Now, I called it today and it rang, but nothing happened. And then it clicked off. Nothing happened. I don't recommend to call it, please. Your parents may be angry at you calling it. If they're worried about you, do not do that. You don't want to worry anyone, especially your loved ones. So there's another number. It's called 1-207-404-2604. This number was set up to promote the horror movie Carrie. At the end of the trailer, the movie, it said to call Carrie. The number will display when you call the number. A different number calls you back 3 times with creepy messages. The first is horrifying screaming. The second is spooky singing. And the third is scary whispering. Now there's another thing. People, this is just a disclaimer. No offense to anyone who wants to try these numbers, and I don't recommend to do it because I don't want anyone upset. I read, this is a book of ghost stories. People who were children in the 1970s claimed that the UK there was a mysterious number that could be dialed for free and a payphone. So if you know a payphone, then do this if there's any payphones left, because people are using cell phones nowadays. When the call was picked up, you would hear a woman's voice saying over and over, help me, Susie's dying. Back in 1975, when this person was 9 years old, some of the kids I hung around with insisted we all pile into the nearest phone booth box to hear a spooky message. I think the number you dialed was made up of OS. First and second, you didn't need to insert any money. You could hear a woman speaking in a currently monstrous tone, voice saying, help me, Susie's dying, over and over. Sometimes she said, help me, Susie's drowning. Always the same monotonous voice. I can't remember cramming into the phone box with various other kids to hear strange Susie's dying messages. I can't remember the number dialed. I remember mysterious messages and the scary voice. I was a child then. Okay, so if you do dial it, the number was 2020. The voice on the other end would crackly but audibly say, help me, Susie's dying, which would send us running in all directions. This person had vivid memory of the strange phone number message. And also there were 3 other girls from the school when they did it. So whoever did it says this number's so scary that they freaked out. So please, if you're calling these numbers, you should always let your parents know if you're calling them.